ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
It's time. What's up, guys? Tim here, Undead Baits, and welcome back to yet another mystery tackle box unboxing. Now, I made a questionable financial decision and actually picked up one of these Reserve Bass Crates. Now, you've probably seen them online before. I have yet to see any videos. Like, I've seen them, but I haven't watched them. So everything is kind of a mystery to me in this one, actually. I'm really excited to get into it. But first, let me just start off with anybody who wants to win this will be able to. All you got to do is go down to the link in the description below, head over to the Patreon, and every person who signs up for this month of October will get an extra 5 entries to win. Now, the way it works, right, normally is every Patreon subscriber, you get an entry in to win, you know, whatever giveaway I'm doing. That's just part of the $5 monthly membership. However, this month, if you subscribe to the Patreon, you're gonna get an extra 5 entries. So you'll get the 1 normal entry for, you know, just being a member. And then on top of that, you will get 5 extra entries only this month, right? The reason you guys should probably subscribe this month is because I'm giving this whole crate away. So there's a box inside of the box. I don't know if you guys can definitely see it from there, but basically what I'm gonna do is package this up and ship it to you guys. You guys will get the crate, you'll get every single thing that's on the inside of this box, and the only way to win it is to become a member of the Patreon. So go ahead down below, click on that Patreon link. It'll take you over to Patreon, it'll take you to my page. Go ahead, become a $5 monthly subscriber, and in addition to the extra entries this month, that gets you a normal entry into every single giveaway I do. Doesn't matter if you watch the video for a giveaway or whatever. If you're a member of the Patreon, then you will automatically get entered to win. So that's pretty cool. In addition to the entries into giveaways, you will also be able to watch videos 2 days early, right? On YouTube, they come out on Sundays. However, through Patreon, you will be able to actually watch the videos on Friday. So another benefit there. And there's gonna be more that I'm adding to the Patreon. If you guys have suggestions of things that you think, you know, would be worth it, go ahead, drop them in the comments. And yeah, with all that self-promoting out of the way, I know you guys came here to see what is in this magnificent box. So let's get it clipped open. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. So I kind of thought that this was going to be nailed down. I think that would have been like a nicer touch, but also I kind of understand that they don't really want, you know, people to have to get out power tools or what have you. But just a couple of zip ties. And then, oh wow, a box inside of a box. So I paid $200 for this.
I can't keep you anymore. Well, what are you waiting for? Can't you see I don't watch anymore? Just get out of here, you stupid, dumb animal!
And I don't really know off the top of my head if there's like a certain value that you're supposed to get for the box. I'll do some research and kind of throw it up on the screen really quick. And then basically I just kind of want to go through everything. I know typically in these boxes, I'll actually, you know, throw up prices and everything else. But since there's so much in this box, I kind of want to just go through it, and then I'll kind of tally it up in my head / on my phone just to kind of see what we're at, and then compare it to, you know, any other prices of stuff that we can find.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Son of a Well, right off the bat, I'm kind of disappointed. That is a lot of green packaging, if you kind of catch my drift. What I'm going to do right now is kind of, you know, get this crate off of here, and then I'm going to set the box down and kind of adjust my camera a little bit so that it makes a little bit more sense. And then we'll kind of start pulling stuff out and going through it. All right, so we're going to kind of just go through this somewhat quick. I mean, you guys already saw right at the beginning that there is a lot, and I mean a lot of Googan Squad stuff. So I'm kind of just going to, you know, go a little ham really quick and just kind of put this stuff down so you can kind of see just how much Googan Squad they're throwing at this. So this is what I'm pretty sure all of the Googan stuff. I have 2 soft plastics off to the side, but figured we'd kind of go through these first. So I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 different crankbaits. We've got 1, 2 different types of jerk baits, 2 frogs, 2 spinner baits, or sorry, a spinner bait, and then 2 different jigs. And then we have a top water popper over here. We have a glide bait, and then we have a lipless crankbait. So it's probably not a secret to a lot of you guys. I'm not a fan of Googan hard baits. They're soft plastics, completely separate, completely different thing. But from my experience with, you know, some of these Googan hard baits, they are not the best in the world. So here are the 2 soft plastics from Googan that came in the box. Both are amazing soft plastics. I absolutely love fishing, you know, the lunker logs and then the saucy swimmers. These, like I've said in past videos, are they're good lures, right? They're good soft plastics to use. They have good pop and good swim action. And I personally am a fan of Googan soft plastics. Let me know down in the comments if you guys use any Googan soft plastics or if you're just completely anti-Googan Squad. Either way, I totally get it. But yeah, these green pumpkin blues are great. I'm a huge fan of these, and I typically will either use the 5, and I think they have a 7 as well. But yeah, I mean, they're kind of just your pretty generic Senkos, but they can't call them Senkos. Since about half of the products left in the box are kind of a generic mix of different things, I'm pretty much going to do what I did with the Googan baits and kind of go by category, because I think that just makes the most sense. So we're going to go back into kind of the hard plastics and, you know, crankbaits, jerk baits, etc. All right, in front of us are the remainder of like the, you know, hard baits that we have left from the box. There's a couple of Carl's Amazing Baits lures in here. We have, do they call this something? The Big Boy 2.75 crankbait. It's got a square bill, if you can kind of see it in there. And it's like a medium diver, 3 to 5 foot. Nice colorway, but again, quality control. I can kind of see some spots down on the bottom that are not supposed to be there. And yeah, made in China. This one is kind of a pretty conventional crankbait you know, almost like a craw pattern. I do like the colors on it. And the paint on this one looks a lot cleaner than the previous one. But again, also made in China. Next up, we have kind of like one of the OGs, a Lunker Hut Jolt 8 Foxtrot. This one is almost like a hybrid square bill, and it's a pretty deep diving bait. It's pretty skinny too, and again, translucent. I'm a fan of translucent. I like this one a lot, and the colors just look pretty nice as well. So, big fan of this one. We'll take a look at what I thought was a Googan bait. This is Freedom Tackle Core's, what do they call it? Blue Clown 3.5-inch jerkbait, I guess. There's no real name on it. Oh, sorry. Mischief Minnow. But I really like the eyes. Those are some pretty unique eyes that I've never really seen before. Pretty narrow and long. And then again, translucent, and it even has like a spoon attached to it, which is pretty interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a jerkbait with a spoon attached. Normally what you get is, you know, 2 or 3 hooks, but you have a hook on the back, hook kind of towards the front, and then the spoon. This is pretty cool. I think I would actually fish this pretty often, see how it does. The only other frog we got in the box is one of the Booyah Toad Runner Juniors, which again, I'm pretty sure it's one of like the OGs, really. But it's got 2 actual paddles on the back that trail, which is pretty cool. Actually, sorry, it's 1 with an extra. But kind of what I was talking about before, this is one I would actually fish because it's white and has some break in that just plain white color. And the eyes really stand out as well. It's a really nice like copper and gold colored eye. So this is one of the Mike Buca baits in collaboration with Catchco. This is their baby bull shad, which in my experience are actually pretty nice jointed swim baits. They don't really have the same problem that a lot of the Googan jointed baits have. And if one of you guys are lucky enough to win this box, you can kind of look and just see in between the joints, the plastic is really well cut and well molded, honestly. And then the tail has some really nice detail in it. It's not a solid tail. It's got strands, which I think just makes a swim action look a little bit better. Last up, we have some Lucky Strike lures. We have one of their G5 crankbaits and another kind of medium-ish diving crankbait. But this one's pretty small. I mean, that's it compared to my thumb. But I'm a big fan of the colors. I like when the whole bait is translucent, but it has color to it and a little bit of definition in terms of, you know, just breaking up the pattern of the water. Orange is one of my favorite colors. And, you know, one is kind of almost like tiger-like. It's got orange plastic up top, and then it kind of fades into a clearer plastic down below with some black stripes and accents and nice red eyes. So big fan of this one. We also have a jerkbait, which kind of like what I was talking about with that other one. This is more just of a conventional jerkbait. You got 3 hooks on there, translucent, and a really nice metallic blue and black on top. This is a really, really nice one. And the benefit with these Lucky Strikes, these are made in the USA, which you may or may not be able to tell by looking at it, but I guarantee you picking it up and actually feeling the bait, they're going to feel a lot nicer than some of these made in China ones. And then last, we have these mirror image shads. These are kind of like hybrid, soft, plastic-ish. The heads are a little bit more, you know, harder plastic, and then the bodies are more just like of a soft plastic. These are really nice if you're actually, you know, fishing for some bait. Shad, in my experience, typically go for these like smaller hybrid soft plastics a lot. And even some bigger, you know, crappie or sunfish, they'll actually try to eat some of these. These 3-inch ones are a little big, but I'm a fan of these. I like them. The only issue is that sometimes the eyes fall out a little bit easier than, you know, what somebody would like, but it is what it is. All right, up next we have our terminal tackle. So we have some jig heads, mostly jig heads, and then actually some newer hooks. But for the most part, these jig heads are pretty much what you would expect. These ones, these Shure hookups are pretty cool. They're actually designed to kind of walk the bottom a little bit more than normal. Pretty unique design. We've got some returning members to the party. We've gotten these diesel jig, football jigs pretty often. I think this exact color we've gotten twice. We've also gotten these Sparky jigs from Phoenix. I don't think we've gotten this color. This is a very like dark jig head. It's got purple, like really dark purple and black. And then it's also got the wheat guard, which is pretty nice. So the last skirted jig head that we really have is one of these heavy metal tungsten ones. This thing is pretty beefy, just sitting in your hand. It's a collaboration with Ketchco. Never actually seen these in any of the boxes before. These are pretty interesting. We also have one of these headbangers. These are pretty unique. They're kind of made to kind of drag on the bottom, I guess. And even just sitting in my hand, it almost wants to like flip upwards. So this would be pretty good for trolling the bottom. Our last piece of terminal are a couple of Harmony, you know, just normal fishing hooks. I think these are probably just one of those things where it's like a sample package almost, and you probably can't buy them in 3-packs, but decent hooks from what I can tell. All right, last up are the soft plastics. So we have more Carl's Amazing Baits. These are Freestyle Junior Houdini 10-pack. Again, just kind of just like a conventional swim bait. We have some Excite baits, craws. There's some decent texturing on the actual claws of the craw. Decent looking color as well. And plus they're made in the USA. I'm willing to bet that they have some sort of salt in them. It says right on the packaging that they're high floaters, so take that as you will. We also have kind of a jointed soft plastic-ish bait. These are kind of like bigger versions of these image shads. Just a little bit bigger. And I do like the pattern on them. And again, they're also using kind of like a brushed tail instead of just a, you know, single piece of plastic, which again, in my experience, gives it a little bit more realistic swim action. And last but not least, we have Biospawn Exo Ribbon worms, an 8-pack. These are honestly pretty cool looking. So they're black on top and then like a deep cherry red on the bottom. And I mean, they're kind of just your typical ribbon worm. All right, and the last two things, we have a mystery tackle box Sasquatch sticker, which, I mean, pretty cool. And then kind of like about the box, a little paper and QR code. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that is a mystery tackle box reserve bass box. Now, I actually went through and scanned this code to kind of see what it was gonna give me. And then if you can see on my screen, it actually tells you every single thing that's in there. And I'm sure other boxes have done that, but from what I'm seeing, I don't know. It's kind of weird, guys. Essentially, it's telling you what the actual price is on here. And from this, it's telling me that about $270 worth of like tackle and everything else. But that's not really the case, because half of these Googan lures, which I've looked at, are on clearance places. And yeah. Now, would I recommend actually going out and buying this $200 tackle box? Hell no. I'm okay, you know, saying in the past, like an $80 mystery tackle box. Sure, $80 might be a lot for some people, but in general, right, if you're into the sport of fishing, you kind of know things cost money and things are kind of expensive. I think $80 for a mystery tackle box that had, you know, a bunch of different stuff in it, that's worth it. But man, do not buy this tackle box. Do not buy it. Not worth $200. Sure, the total amount of lures in terms of pricing may be worth over 200. By my calculations, it's worth just under 200. But this tackle box isn't meant for brand new fishermen, right? Again, like I said before, you can kind of justify a $60 or an $80 mystery tackle box for a new, somebody getting into fishing for the first time. But spending $200 for a bunch of Googan squad baits, that ain't it, Chief. That ain't it. I don't recommend anybody get this box, even if you're a fan of Googan squad and, Googan baits in general. Just go out and buy the ones that you want. Like, sure, you get a neat little box with it, but it's not worth $200. I haven't done many scams in this Slammer Scam series, but let me be the first to tell you, I think this was a scam. With that being said, this box to you could be worth $5. And if that's the case, jump down into the description, go ahead and click the link to Patreon, become a member of the Patreon, and this month only, if you subscribe during this month, you will get an extra 5 entries to win this giveaway specifically, right? And then in the future, you get an automatic entry into any giveaway that I do, regardless of if you actually watch the video. So go ahead, check it out, subscribe if you think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. And that's really all I have. This was kind of the pinnacle of mystery tackle box, mystery boxes. So if you guys have a suggestion of another mystery box that you guys want to see me open, go ahead down into the comments below. Make sure you tell me if there's anything else that you guys want me to review. I absolutely love doing these videos and I want to keep doing them. So if you guys have one you want to see, go ahead and throw it down in the comments. If you don't want to drop a recommendation in the comments, that's fine. Go ahead down there anyways. And I want to know a core memory that you have from fishing. Whether it's fishing with a grandparent, whether it's fishing with your brother, your sister, your parents, whatever it may be, go down in the comments. I want to hear it. That kind of stuff, makes my day. And I'm sure that other people, want to go down there and hear a funny story or a sentimental story. There's not enough happiness in the world. There's not enough joy. Go down in the comments, spread some joy, and make today the best day that you can. God bless.